Hi, I'm Sofer Virgil the Doubtful, and this is the poorly animated Book of Mormon. And we are starting the Book of Mosiah. Who's Mosiah? Well, according to the previous books, he's a Nephite who travels to Zarahemla to meet the Zarahemlans, the Zarahemloks, and they make him their king because he, I guess, converts them all to the true faith. And his son is King BenJammin, and I believe that this Mosiah is the son of that BenJammin who brought peace and love and happiness to the Zarahemlan. So I guess we've completely forgotten about the Nephites. And now, there was no more contention in all the land of Zarahemla. None. Zarahemla was peace and harmony and, monkey butlers bringing you drinks among all the people who belonged to King BenJammin, so that King BenJammin had continual peace in all the remainder of his days. Well, good for you, man. Hero. And it came to pass that he had 3 sons, and he called their names Mosiah and Helo-rum and Helaman. Hello-rum and Helaman. Helaman, he's a hell of a man. And he caused that they should be taught in all the language of his fathers. Well, that's the language, I guess, of the Nephites, which is Reformed Egyptian, so good. That's wonderful. And thereby they might become men of understanding, and they might know concerning the prophecies which had been spoken by the mouths of their fathers, which were delivered to them by the hand of the Lord, directly by his hand. And he also taught them concerning the records which were engraven upon the plates of brass, saying, My sons, I would that ye should remember that we stole these from the Nephites, and were it not for these plates, which contain the records and these commandments, we must have suffered in ignorance, even at this present time, not knowing the mysteries of God. For it were not possible that our father Lehi could have remembered all these things, to have taught them to his children, except it were for the help of these plates. I guess no oral tradition there. For he, having been taught in the language of the Egyptians, well, that's not the language the Egyptians speak. Therefore he could read these engravings and teach them to his children, that thereby they could teach them to their children, and so fulfilling the commandments of God, even down to this present time. Bully for you. And I say unto you, my sons, were it not for these things which have been kept and preserved by the hand of God, that we might read and understand his mysteries, and have his commandments always before our eyes. And even our fathers would have dwindled in unbelief, and we should have been like unto our brethren, the Lamanites, who know nothing of these things, and yet are still successful and breeding like rabbits, or even do not believe them when they are taught them, because of the traditions of their fathers, which are not correct. O my sons, I would that ye should remember that these sayings are true. Boom. And also that these records are true. Double boom. And behold, also the plates of Nephi, which contain the records and the sayings of our fathers from the time they left. Wait, this is on the plates of Nephi, isn't it? Are we on a different set of plates now? Words of Mormon said something about that, and I do not understand what plates we're reading. Which contain the records and sayings of our fathers from the time they left Jerusalem until now, and they are true. Triple boom. And we can know of their surety, because we have them before our eyes. I don't think that's how that works. And now, my sons, I would that ye should remember to search them diligently. Control F, not Control S. That's save. That ye may profit thereby. And I would that ye should keep the commandments of God, that ye may prosper in the land according to the promises which the Lord made unto our fathers, who art in a different city. And many more things did King BenJammin teach his sons, which are not written in this book, because they're not relevant, and you wouldn't care, even though they would be super interesting. And it came to pass that after King BenJammin had made an end of teaching his sons, he waxed old, and they saw he must soon go down the way of all the earth. Therefore he thought it expedient that he should confer the kingdom upon one of his sons. Therefore he had Mosiah brought to him. And these are the words which he spake unto him, saying, My son, I would that ye should make a proclamation through all this land among all this people, or the people of Zarahemla. Are this people, or is he's referring to them as the people of Zarahemla? Not alternatively, these other people, this different name. And the people of Mosiah who dwell in the land, that thereby they may be gathered together. For on the morrow I shall proclaim unto this my people out of mine own mouth, that thou art a king and a ruler over this people, whom the Lord our God hath given us. And moreover, I shall give this people a name, that thereby they may be distinguished above all the people which the Lord God hath brought out of the land of Israel, land of Jerusalem. And this I do because they have been a diligent people in keeping the commandments of the Lord. And I give unto them a name that never shall be blotted out, except it be through transgression. Well, why did you put that little caveat in there? Yea, and moreover I say unto you, that this highly favored people of the Lord shall fall should fall into transgression, and become a wicked and adulterous people, that the Lord will deliver them up, and that thereby they become weak like unto their brethren, and he will no more preserve them by his matchless and marvelous power, as he hath hitherto preserved our fathers. I mean, you're really just planning for this, aren't you? That's clearly what's going to happen. Just wrap spoiler alert around that for your son. For I say unto you, that if he had not extended his arm in the preservation of our fathers, they must have fallen into the hands of the Lamanites, and become victims of their hatred. Yeah, but the Lamanites are doing great. And it came to pass that after King Benjamin had made an end of these sayings to his son, he gave him charge concerning all the affairs of the kingdom. And moreover, he also gave him charge concerning the records, which were engraven on the plates of brass, and also the plates of Nephi, and also the sword of Laban. Ooh, and the ball. He still has the compass. Wow, amazing. Which led our fathers through the wilderness. This is like 300 years later, and they still have this. Good for you. Which was prepared by the hand of the Lord, that thereby they might be led, every one according to the heed and diligence which they gave unto him. I wonder what it's showing right now. Is it just spinning in place? Therefore, as they were unfaithful, they did not prosper in their progress in their journey, but were driven back, and incurred the displeasure of God on them. And therefore they were smitten with famine and sore afflictions, to stir them up in remembrance of their duty. And now it came to pass that Mosiah went and did as his father had commanded him, and proclaimed unto all the people who were in the land of Zarahemloks, what, all at once? There must not be that many people, because he's talking about giving the speech tomorrow, on the morrow, that thereby they might gather themselves together to go up to the temple to hear the words which his father should speak unto them. And that is it. That's the end of the first chapter. So all we know is that Benjamin is dying. He recovers a bunch of stuff we already knew. And they have the plates and the sword and the ball now in the land of Zarahemla. So don't know what happened to the Nephites. And that tomorrow there's going to be a big speech. So since we're not that far in, and we are in Mosiah 1, let's jump ahead to Mosiah 2. And it came to pass that after Mosiah had done as his father had commanded him, which was go tell everyone in the country that the king is giving a speech tomorrow, and had made a proclamation through all the land, that the people gather themselves together throughout all the land, that they might go up to the temple to hear the words which King Benjamin should speak unto them. Well, he's doing it tomorrow, so you'd better get a move on. And there were a great number. Well, how? Whatever. Even so that they did not number them, for they had multiplied exceedingly, and waxed great in the land. And they also took the firstlings of their flocks, that they might offer sacrifice and burnt offerings according to the law of Moses. I don't think the law of Moses had a thing about animal sacrifices during speeches. I'm not an expert on ancient Jewish sacrifice practices, though. I don't think so. That's really going to make for a lot of people, exceeding number of people, and all their animals are going to make it to the temple by tomorrow. And also that they might give thanks to the Lord their God, which had brought them out of the land of Jerusalem, and who had delivered them out of the hands of their enemies, and had appointed just men to be their teachers. Well, you weren't saying this a couple chapters ago. And also a just man to be their king, just recently, who had established peace in the land of Zarahemla, and who had taught them to keep the commandments of God, that they might rejoice and be filled with love toward God and all men. You're really kind of washing your history there. And it came to pass that when they came up to the temple, they pitched their tents round about, every man according to his family, consisting of his wife and his sons and his daughters, and their sons and their daughters, from the eldest down to the youngest, every family being separate. So everybody had their own tent. Somehow they all got here in time. And they pitched their tents, you just said this, around the temple, every man having his tent with the door thereof towards the temple. What? Okay. That thereby they might remain in their tents and hear the words King Benjamin should speak unto them. How are they going to hear all this? For the multitude being so great, King Benjamin could not teach them all within the walls of the temple. Yeah, I get it. Therefore he caused a tower to be erected. That thereby his people might hear the words which he should speak unto them. Did he plan this beforehand? Because he just made this decision yesterday. And he's like, tomorrow I'm giving a speech, and I'm handing it over to you. All right, we're going to have to build a tower, though, tonight. We're going to have to build it tonight. So get to work. And it came to pass that he began to speak to his people from the tower, and they could not all hear his words because of the greatness of the multitude. Well, that gives us an image of how many people there must be. Not a lot of thought given to the logistics of this. Therefore, he caused that the words which he spake should be written and sent forth among those who are not under the sound of his voice, that they might also receive his words. I'm just going to assume he's been planning this for a while if he's written out his speech for this. And these are the words which he spake and caused to be written, saying, My brethren, all ye that have assembled yourselves together, you that can hear my words, which I shall speak unto you this day, for I have not commanded you to come up hither to trifle with words which I shall speak. So he's going to be brief. But that you should hearken unto me, and open your ears, that ye may hear, and your hearts, that ye may understand, and your minds, that the mysteries of God may be unfolded to your view. I don't think he's going to be brief. And I have not commanded you to come up hither that ye should fear me, or that ye should think that I of myself am more than a mortal man. But I am like yourselves, subject to all manner of infirmaries in body and mind, yet I have been chosen by this people, and consecrated by my Father, as was suffered by the hand of the Lord, that I should be a ruler and a king over this people, and have been kept and preserved by his matchless power, to serve you with all the might, mind, and strength which the Lord hath granted unto me. I so love it when these chapters start with a big giant speech. I say unto you that as I have been suffered to spend my days in your service, even up to this time, and have not sought gold nor silver nor any manner of riches of you, neither have I suffered that ye should be confined in dungeons, nor that ye shall make slaves one of another, nor that ye should murder, or plunder, or steal, or commit adultery, nor even have I suffered that ye should commit any manner of wickedness, and have taught you that ye should keep the commandments of the Lord in all things which he hath commanded you. Ooh. And even I myself have labored with mine own hands, there you go, that I might serve you, and that ye should not be laden with taxes. Okay, good job. And that there should be nothing to come upon you which was grievous to be borne. And of all these things which I have spoken, ye yourselves are witness this day. Yet, my brethren, I have not done these things that I might boast, neither do I tell these things that thereby I might accuse you, but I tell you these things that ye may know that I can answer a clear conscience before God this day. Well, that's wonderful. Behold, I say unto you that because I said unto you, because I say unto you. What? I don't know. And I spend my days in your service. I do not desire to boast, for I have only been in the service of God. He's still in the preamble to this speech. He's not even gotten to the point of this speech yet. And behold, I tell you these things that ye may learn wisdom, that ye may learn that when ye are in the service of your fellow beings, ye are in the service of your God. It's very nice. Behold, ye have called me your king, and if I, whom ye call your king, do labor to serve you, then ought not ye to labor to serve one another. Also a nice sentiment. And behold also, if I, whom ye call your king, who has spent his days in your service, and yet has been in the service of God, do merit any thanks from you, oh how you ought to thank your heavenly king. I get what you're saying, man, but man, you're roundabout. I say unto you, my brethren, that if ye should render all the thanks and praise which your whole soul has power to possess to that God who has created you, and has kept and preserved you, ask not what your country can do for you, and has kept and preserved you, and has caused that ye should rejoice, and has granted that ye should live in peace with one another. I say unto you that if ye should serve him who has created you from the beginning, and is preserving you from day to day by lending you breath, that ye may live and move, and do according to your own will, and even supporting you from one moment to another, I say, if ye should serve him with all your whole souls, yet ye would be unprofitable servants. And behold, all that he requires of you is to keep his commandments, and he has promised you that if ye would keep his commandments, ye should prosper in the land. Or, don't, and you'll still prosper, you'll just change skin tone. And he never doth vary from that which he hath said, therefore if ye do keep his commandments, he doth bless you and prosper you. And now, in the first place, he hath created you, and granted unto you your lives, for which ye are indebted unto him. Again, this is not the point of this speech. I thought was that his son is now king, and he hasn't even gotten close. And secondly, he doth require that you should do as he hath commanded you, for which if ye do, he doth immediately bless you, and therefore he hath paid you. And ye are still indebted unto him, and are, and will be, forever and ever. Therefore, of what have ye to boast? That is not quite as nice a sentiment. And now I ask, can ye say aught of yourselves? I answer you, nay. Ye cannot say that ye are even as much as the dust of the earth, yet ye were created of the dust of the earth, and behold, it belongeth to him who created you. So you're forever in debt to him, because he created you, so you'd be forever in debt to him. So you're slaves. Sucks to be you. And I, even I, whom ye call your king, am no better than ye yourselves are, for I am also of the dust, and ye behold that I am old, and am about to yield up this mortal frame to its mother earth. Therefore, as I said unto you, that I had served you, walking with a clear conscience before God,
Even so, I, at this time, have caused that ye should assemble yourselves together, that I might be found blameless. What? That I might be found blameless. I don't know what that means. I don't know why. Why would you be found blameless? You just got... And that your blood should not come upon me, when I shall stand to be judged of God, of the things whereof he hath commanded me concerning you. I think he's clearing his conscience before he passes on the buck here. I say unto you that I have caused that ye should assemble yourselves together very quickly, that I might rid my garments of your blood, at this period of time when I am about to go down to my grave, that I might go down in peace, and my immortal spirit may join the choirs above in singing the praises of a just God. And moreover, I say unto you that I have caused that ye should assemble yourselves together, that I might declare unto you that I can no longer be your teacher nor your king. Finally to the meat of it. For even at this time my whole frame doth tremble exceedingly, while attempting to speak unto you. But the Lord God doth support me, and has suffered me that I should speak unto you, and hath commanded me that I should declare unto you this day that my son Mosiah is a king and ruler over you. I kind of thought there was going to be some intrigue here. He has 2 other brothers. And now, my brethren, I would that ye should do as ye have hitherto done, as ye have kept my commandments, and also the commandments of my father, and have prospered. Okay, and his father is... He's BenJammin, his father's Mosiah, and his son is Mosiah. So he's giving his son Mosiah the crown. And have prospered and have been kept from falling into the hands of your enemies. Even so, well wait, they sent a bunch of people out and they died. We found that out last time. Even so, if ye shall keep the commandments of my son, or the commandments of God, which shall be delivered unto you by him, ye shall prosper in the land, and your enemies shall have no power over you. Yeah, I don't think that's true. But, oh my people, beware. And there it is. You always have to give the other side. You always have to give them the carrot and the stick. But, O my people, beware lest there shall rise contentions among you, and ye list to obey the evil spirit which was spoken of by my father Mosiah. For behold, there is a woe pronounced upon him who listeth. I can't say listeneth. Listeth to obey that spirit. Listeth? What is listeth? For if he listeth to obey him, it's like a ship lists, like tilts, and remaineth and dieth in his sins, the same drinketh damnation to his own soul, for he receiveth, I am not putting these ths on the end of these, for his wages an everlasting punishment, having transgressed the law of God contrary to his own knowledge. Again, not fair. Moving on. I say unto you that there are not any among you, except it be your little children, that have not been taught concerning these things, but what knoweth that ye are eternally indebted to your heavenly Father, to render to him all that you have and are, and also have been taught concerning the records which contain the prophecies which have been spoken by the holy prophets, even down to the time of our father Lehi left Jerusalem. Again, it's exempting the little kids. So they don't know, so they're not going to be punished for not knowing, so don't tell anybody about it, and then nobody gets punished. And also, all that has been spoken by our fathers until now. And behold, also, they spake that which was commanded them of the Lord, therefore they are just and true. Just and true. And now I say unto you, my brethren, that after ye have known and have been taught all these things, if ye should transgress and go contrary to that which has been spoken, that ye do withdraw yourselves from the Spirit of the Lord, that it may have no place for you to guide you in wisdom's paths, that ye may be blessed, prospered, and preserved. I'm not going to be a grammar critic there. I say unto you that the man that doeth this, the same cometh out in open rebellion against God. Therefore he listeth, again with the listeth, to obey the evil spirit, and becometh an enemy to all righteousness. Therefore the Lord has no place for him, for he dwelleth not in unholy temples. So you've already given Mosiah the crown, and now you're just going to continue on and on. Therefore, if that man repenteth not, and remaineth and dieth, an enemy of God, then demands of divine justice do awaken his immortal soul to a lively sense of his own guilt. A lively sense of his own guilt. Which doth cause him to shrink from the presence of the Lord, and doth fill his breast with guilt and pain and anguish, which is like an unquenchable fire, whose flame ascendeth up for ever and ever. You stole that line. And now I say unto you that mercy hath no claim on that man. God will never help him. Therefore his final doom is to endure, what? Never-ending torment. Bum, bum, bum. It's terrible. Oh, all ye old men. What? And also ye young men, and you little children who can understand my words, for I have spoken plainly unto you that ye might understand, thus cursing you to a potentially eternal damnation. I pray that ye should awake to a remembrance to the awful situation of those that have fallen into transgression, think hard on them, and moreover, I would desire that ye should consider on the blessed and happy state of those that keep the commandments of God. For behold, they are blessed in all things, both temporal and spiritual. And if they hold out faithful to the end, they are received into heaven, that thereby they may dwell with God in a state of never-ending happiness. It's like a drug trip, except for when they think about the people who are tormented in hell. Oh, remember that these are the things that are true, for the Lord God hath spoken it. At least I'm claiming he has in that. That is the end of the second chapter of Mosiah, where the king, BenJammin, has climbed atop a hastily constructed tower to deliver a hastily written speech in which he has given Mosiah, and I guess author of this book, his crown, and we should therefore be moving on. And yet, according to my notes, there are 20-some chapters. So this will either be a really long speech or Mosiah will begin to write, but we shall find that out next time. So I hope you've enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Come back later. Send me messages, smoke signals. Send me ravens, and I, as always, am your guide, Virgil.